How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Craft Parenting Podcast. Podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. My name is Joe Ludwig, and Caroline is in the other room putting our son to bed because he's being a 2-year-old, because that's what he is. And he is he doesn't want to go to bed, so here I am recording this solo. So welcome back. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. This week is kind of a special episode. It's going to be a shorter episode, but it's a very special episode because it is the first episode where we are going to be talking to someone from a brewery about their brewery. We've obviously had Marco on our 100th episode, but we did not talk about his place of employment. Yeah, so that interview will be at the back half of this introduction. But we've had a crazy weekend as well. Friday, of course, was my birthday, and I took the day off. And I snuck out of the house. I was supposed to cut the grass, but I ended up at Westside Brewing, dropping off the pack techs. Finally, a big stack of them, and I got a beer or two, and I took a six back home because it was my birthday. And then that night, we went to Stricker's Grove for our parish picnic. I remember going to Stricker's Grove as a kid. It's it's kind of like Kings Island, but it's smaller. They have two roller coasters. One that's decently big. It's called the Tornado, and then they have like a smaller one called the Teddy Bear. Lily rode the Teddy Bear, like she loved it. And then they have like a carousel and like carnival rides, kind of like I guess a smaller version of Coney Island. I don't think they put the rides away necessarily. Like it's not like a temporary thing. It's like a permanent park, and that's on over here on the west side, towards Harrison. It's actually right next to the pumpkin patch at Brown's family farm that we go to. We're actually going there next weekend. So crazy fall times. So we did that on Friday night. Beautiful night. Beautiful fall evening. I absolutely love this time of year where it's warm during the day, to the point where you need to wear shorts and short sleeved and short pants. And then at night when the sun goes down, the temperature drops to like 70 or even cooler. So I love that weather. It's perfect campfire weather, which we have the fire pit in our backyard, but it's not ready to go. So I will have to remedy that soon, and we will make sure to have some fires here in the next few weeks. So Saturday, we went to 13 Below, which is actually the topic of this week's episode. And I'll get to that in a minute. We went to 13 Below. We recorded two podcasts, actually. One of them you are going to hear shortly. And then I think we just hung out at home. I really wanted to watch the UC game, but it wasn't on. So I completely missed that. Yeah, the UC game wasn't on. It was like a ESPN Plus exclusive. I remember getting back. We got back from 13 Below, and I grilled hamburgers. And shout out to my sister, by the way. She made all of that possible. And she was able to, she came over and watched both the kids. We have a Marvel run going down our steps. So that's kind of funny. I think Caroline took a video slash pictures. Maybe we'll post that later. But my sister purchased these plastic tubes that connect, and she taped them. And we have a set of stairs. It's not just a straight set of stairs. It goes up and out. And then there's a landing. And then there's a banister, and she weaved these plastic tubes, in and out of the banisters, and and I don't know which kid did it. It was either Lily or Elliot, obviously, but they put one of their toy wagons at the bottom, and they just nonstop. They ran up the stairs, put the marbles down the tubes, ran down the stairs, grabbed the marbles, and then did it again. Um, Very funny, but not a big fan of playing on the stairs, obviously. Obviously, that could. But nevertheless, they were super happy about it. Shout out to my sister. She came over and made this interview possible, and next week's interview possible as well. So yeah, we just kind of hung out on Saturday night. So that was fun. And then today, Sunday, which is when I am recording this, we went to Kings Island with my sister. My Caroline was there, and then we took both kids. We originally were only going to take Lily, and then last minute we decided to take Elliot as well. I think it's 2 and under is free, so he didn't need a ticket. He actually rode some rides. He was kind of overwhelmed at first. He's never been there. Lily, she's a thrill seeker. She absolutely loves Kings Island. So she had a great time. She actually disappeared with Caroline for a while, and she rode the Woodstock Express, aka the Beastie, I think at least 5 times. I rode with her twice. I'm sure Caroline rode with her more than that, but she absolutely loved it. Elliot saw Snoopy in Woodstock, the little bird. So, yeah, we just had an absolute great time this weekend. We have an amazing weekend planned next weekend as well. So lots to come. But I did want to shift a little bit and talk about this interview that we did, which will be the main topic of this week's episode. 13 Below is celebrating their 6th anniversary, September 22nd and 23rd and 24th. And we had the absolute pleasure to talk to Doug, one of the owners of the 13 Below. 13 Below is located off of River Road. off of a train track, which Elliot loves. If It's right next to there's a park there, but it's also right next to Cabana on the River. If you're familiar with that, um, super west side. Um, they're not very well known. They've been around for 6 years, but they don't distribute. They do limited cans, but you have to go to the tap room to buy them. They also do growlers with a G, so the 64-ounce jug. So I do have this email that I wanted to read. It kind of highlights what's going on during their 6th anniversary weekend. So just to let you know, you have that context. Um, like I said, Doug, he is one of the owners. We talked to him. He was very short on time. We were very grateful that he took the time to talk to us. It wasn't planned at all, but he was gracious enough to give us his time. So if the interview feels kind of rushed, it was because he is a very busy guy, and he just wanted to tell us about the 6th anniversary. So to give some context around that, I wanted to kind of give more details about it, and then we can just jump into the interview. And then that will be the end of the episode. I'm not going to come back after that. So they say, cheers to 6 years. To 6 years. So they say, cheers to 6 years. 6th anniversary celebration weekend. Friday, September 22nd, featuring a special anniversary beer release, West Coast Mosaic Hopped IPA. And they say while supplies last. These are very limited release beers. This beer is very limited, so get it while you can. They also have a smoked Reuben ribs and other food specials by the Incline Smoke Shack, which is a permanent food truck there, and it's absolutely phenomenal. They have barbecue, very good. And they are also going to have live music by the Redemption Brothers at 7 p.m. And on Saturday, September 23rd, they are featuring their Apple Cinnamon Fall Ale while supplies last. And their Fall Ale is their Oktoberfest style. So they don't necessarily call it an Oktoberfest, they call it the Fall Ale, which I drank quite a few of those on Saturday, this past Saturday. And their Oktoberfest, it was really good. Their Fall Ale was really good. They also have a fest beer called Prosit. It's either called Prost or Prosit. I don't really remember, but that one is also good. I've had that in previous years. So Saturday they are featuring an apple cinnamon fall ale, and they will have a smoked Reuben ribs and other food specials by the Incline Smoke Shack. Live music bingo by Drew Lowry at 3 p.m. And then live music by Heather Rausch and the Heartstrings at 7 p.m. On Sunday, September 24th, their special beer release will be Brewer's Choice. So that's going to be a surprise. I have a feeling I know what that surprise is. We may have spoiled it. But in this interview, Caroline was drinking it. The email doesn't specify which beer it is. It's going to be. Additionally, they are going to be having smoked Reuben ribs and other food specials by the Incline Smoke Shack, and then alcohol-themed trivia at 7 p.m. So, If you don't have any plans, get out to 13 Below this weekend, September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. It should be a really good time. Of course, they have parking on site. Their beer they have quite the selection of beer. So they have beer for all tastes and all palates. They have the beer garden in the front. They have food on site. They have an indoor area. And then, of course, they have the back patio and then the back patio, which our kids love to hang out in and run around the yard, the backyard. Something that we kind of briefly touch on during this interview is the fact that they grow their own hops in the backyard, and they actually have a beer using those hops. It's called the Alt beer, and I had that one as well, and it was very tasty. Actually, I haven't had a bad beer from 13 Below. My go-to before, the alt beer and the Oktoberfest was on draft, my go-to this past summer was I think they call it the Fernbank. It's a Czech lager. It's very light, very, it, not light in alcohol, but light in taste. I think it's like 5.5%. So, very refreshing, especially during the summer. They still had it when I was there, but I didn't get it. Like I said, I got the Oktoberfest and the alt beer, the fall lager and the fall ale. Excuse me. I got the fall ale and the alt beer. So, with that, thank you guys so much for listening. We will be back on Thursday with a very special episode and a very special guest. If you like what you hear, like, follow, subscribe, share the show with your friends. We are the Craft Parenting Podcast. We are on all the platforms, including YouTube. So we really appreciate your support. And go out and support 13 Below, especially if you haven't been there before. That's definitely one of those hidden gems here on the west side. Definitely worth the drive. You will not regret it. So thank you so much for listening. We'll be right back with a very special interview with Doug from 13 Below. So thank you so much. We are here at 13 Below Brewing. This is actually our neighborhood brewery.
Yeah.
We come here, we're the annoying parents with those little kids that run around.
We try to keep them contained. We try to be really good about keeping them at the table or running around in the grass, because the grass I feel like is fair game.
Yeah, but do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. My name is Doug Minky-Dick, and I am one of the four owners here at 13 Below Brewery.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're short on time, so we'll make it quick.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. I enjoy talking about the brewery, enjoy talking about beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your 6th anniversary is coming up. We can chit-chat about the party right quick. So
Sure.
give us the dates, give us some lowdowns on what's going on.
Sure.
Your alt beer just came on tap, and that's delicious. I love the fresh hops in it.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're growing in our backyard.
Mm-hmm.
So those are Cascade hops back there. So our anniversary is next Friday, which is September the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So we're celebrating all weekend. We've got live music on Friday night and Saturday night. We will be introducing some other small batch beers that that we've been brewing and working on for the last several weeks. So you got to come down and say, oh, what's new on tap here?
I'm enjoying the Blackberry Pale Ale right now.
That's our newest one on. I just put it on this morning. The brewer just finished it up and said it's ready to go. And we've got about 5 more small batch back there. I may be sending out an email later today or tomorrow with all the different flavors that we're going to be releasing then, but we do have several.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so we got live music. We got a fun thing going on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. We're going to do some music bingo featuring Drew Lowry, who's one of our musicians that come down here. So he'll be playing little music snippets, and you can follow along on your bingo card.
Nice.
And then we're going to end it all with a trivia about alcohol
Okay.
on Sunday night at 7 o'clock. So come down and test your knowledge against everybody else.
I know some people in the Cincinnati craft beer scene that I should be sending this way to see
least
whether
they-
they
yeah.
do know as much as they think they do.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. It's a lot of fun to do these little themed trivias that we do. We normally have trivia on Thursday nights, and we have once a month a themed version. So like this Thursday night, we're doing a themed version on the 90s, and then obviously we'll do the alcohol one on our special Sunday night edition.
So you guys are family friendly. You have an awesome backyard. You grow your own hops,
Yes.
which we mentioned before. 6 years is a long time for a small business, for any startup business. What were some of the challenges? What have you learned along the way? Just real quick.
Sure. Yeah. It seemed like every day there was a new challenge. It
Yeah.
took us a little while to get open, dealing with the different Cincinnati rules and such. So we had
Yeah.
to work through all that. I don't know if you recall, but we had a nice little flood in 2018.
We
Yeah.
love talking about that because it always surprises
Did you
people.
look at the pictures on the wall? It's like there,
There are pictures on the wall. I think there's caution tape too.
Yeah. It was a very challenging time to get through all the flood, and we had a lot of help from our neighbors. And then one brewery in particular, the president called me up and said, "Hey, do you need any help to clean up?" And I said, "Absolutely." Somebody put a plug in for Mad Tree.
Yeah.
They came down and worked the whole one whole Saturday helping us clean up and everything. But we were down about 10 days, and to get rid of all the water flood, all flood guck, and get that all cleaned up.
The
But
beer kept brewing though.
the beer did keep brewing. So yeah, nothing got into the fermenters or the
Yeah.
bright tank. So we were all good. And then we were actually brewing a brand new pale ale at the time, so we had to name it Sandbag. So that was
Of course, yeah.
Every now and then we'll bring that one back out. But
Yeah. It's a great piece of trivia, and anytime I talk to somebody about that, they're like, "Wait, the brewery flooded and it still had beer?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
yes.
And the community came together to help them get out of it.
Yeah.
So like most places, we got cameras, right? So so we've got some pictures of our head brewer snuck in the day of the flood, and he's sitting there at the taps pouring himself a beer, and to make sure it was still good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take
of
advantage
course.
of the situation.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Other than that, just normal business challenges of just keeping your costs down. We've fought COVID, we fought inflation, so I would say we're still proud to kind of keep our costs down at $6 a beer, and you go downtown sometimes and you're paying $8, $9, $10 a beer. So we're very economical and try to make it nice for the West Siders here.
Yeah. So the Gnarly Gnome always likes to talk to breweries about what does success mean for you. So 5 or 6-ish years ago, you were sitting down talking to him. Do you feel like you've been successful? I mean, you're still open, so obviously. And then what does the next 5 or 6 years look like? Do you think?
Well, obviously we'd like to expand our presence in the community, because that was one of the big things that we had talked to him about. We do want to expand here. Keep building up our capital to maybe put a deck on the back so you can see over top some of the boats and see the river. It's a beautiful view onto the Kentucky side.
Yeah.
Just really looking at what we can expand to really
definitely.
really meet the full craft scene.
I would love that.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know our kids would too.
our kids love your backyard. They love running it.
And they love the trains.
Oh yeah,
Trains are always a big hit.
Yeah, we've got a beer called Railin' River.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little porter that's really very delicious. I don't think we got it on tap right now, but I think it's in the brew tank right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But yeah, we try to keep with our names with the local themes and all that type of stuff. So we got a
Yeah.
Fern Bank and Sailor Park and all that good stuff for our beer names.
Mm-hmm.
well, Doug, we appreciate you coming on. I know you have. I want to be a cognizant of your time.
Yes,
of
no.
your time.
Thanks for chit-chatting with
Thanks
me.
Yeah,
for
no
com-
doubt. You guys have to come back maybe next week, and we could talk some more during our anniversary and see how things are going.
Yeah, we might only have we might be able to make it work as long as one of us is watching the kids. Yeah, we'll find a way.
Or we'll find a
Make it happen.
babysitter for you about that.
Yeah.
We have done that before. We've done a little
Well,
babysitting service.
We'll lock them up with the fermenters. There's a
you
gate there.
go.
It's fine. They can only cause so much chaos.
Exactly.
So much chaos.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Doug. Yeah, thanks for having this fantastic space that we can come hang out at here almost every other week these days.
There you go. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.